Alright everyone, so you're at the point where you signed up for FBA and you're potentially starting to source. So the question is, once you get the items in from sourcing, what do you do with them next? What I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over my process of organizing inventory, bringing it in and putting it into my point of sale system, maybe to give you an idea of what you can set up yourself. I realize not everyone has a point of sale system. I realize everyone's setup is not the same. But I'm going to show you mine, give you some tips based on it, and then I'm going to go over actually entering the inventory into the Amazon program. And then tomorrow we're going to cover the exact supplies I use to ship out and my methods for shipping to reduce cost and hopefully shipments as well. Now there's a ton of stuff to ship, so I imagine it's going to end up being two videos. One that's informative, that really explains the process, and the one that actually breaks down doing the process. But before we even get to that, let's cover my process when inventory comes in, how I enter it in my POS, and then I'll show you guys exactly how to enter it in the Amazon system. That way you understand how to create shipments quickly, because there are ways to do it slowly and ways to do it efficiently. Alright everyone, I want to go over this setup a little bit. So all my merchandise comes from over here. I have a door that I come through and then the basement through. And then all new merchandise hits this table. This is where it gets sorted if it needs cleaned or not. There's a table over here I'll show in a second where I clean everything and then slide it down. But basically hits this table and then I take the invoices and enter them into my point of sale system. From here I print barcode labels and then I pass them down with the merchandise down the row. And what this allows me to do is it all goes in my inventory at the price it cost, and then it gets tagged and listed and put on my shelf. That way when it sells I just scan it back out and then it's out of my inventory and it calculates my profit. Now there's a few things to note here. When I do calculations for cost of goods sold, I do it a little differently. Say I go to the thrift store and buy 50 items and it costs me $100. Rather than putting the individual price of each item into my point of sale, I do what's called an average cost, and so then each unit would be $2. So then when I print up my barcode, it would just be $2 for each item from that thrift lot. That makes it very simple for me, and it kind of averages out the cost of outliers if something costs $100 versus everything else costing $1. So merchandise into the point of sale system, goes down to be cleaned and bagged, and then when it's finished it'll look like this. It's bagged, it has a tag. Now this is very important for FBA and I'll explain why in a second. So no matter if it's going on eBay or FBA, that happens no matter what. But the reason it's important is this. I'm going to cut to my computer screen in a second and show you what I do with the point of sale system to calculate what's profit versus sales on like eBay and stuff with FBA. See, the main issue is a lot of people don't understand how to calculate FBA profit, but this has really simplified it for me and I really like the process. But before I cut to my computer, I wanted to show you really fast. So after the point of sale system, I have a table here full of supplies to clean and repair, and then as we slide down I have another table and I have bags at the end of it where I can bag and tag everything. And then behind all of this is my packing area, and I have one table with all my supplies on it up top, and then below is like bubble wrap and shrink wrap and my scale. And this is actually going to be much wider once I get my other tables from my office, but I also have a ticket rail to hang, you know, orders from and that kind of thing. So it's really just a big circle and things come in and right back out and then they all go through my computer. Alright guys, so let's go over exactly what I was saying. I apologize if that's not the best explanation, but the way it goes is merchandise comes in, it gets entered into this point of sale system. I print out labels and bag those items. They then go on my shelves or are sent to FBA. Now if they're here in my office and they go on my shelves, when they sell, I then pull the bag, scan it in the computer, put the sale price, and it automatically calculates my profit, which saves me tons of time, like boatloads of time. But if I send it to FBA, there's a little different process. I'm going to show you both here so you understand why I do it and how much time it actually saves in the long run. So the point of sale program I use is PHP Point of Sale. It's a great program. When I bought it, only cost $100 for the entire thing. Now, when we get in here, we go to sales. I'm going to show you an eBay sale first. Say I sell on eBay. I've really simplified this to organize just individual sales. I hit eBay sales. Comes up right here. I'm using the exact shirt I just showed you guys, okay? It has the code on it. I then scan it in. It pops up. I have 23 other items from that thrift store, Salvation Army. The average price for each item is $2.82. Now, let's say it's sold for $10. I type in 10. That's a little tedious, but I'm working with the developer to fix this issue. Now I hit add payment, and I just do everything as cash because it's just the simplest route. And then when I hit complete sale, it'll print me out an invoice. I don't necessarily need to do it, but I'll do it so you can see, and then I'll delete the sale. Alright, so I hit cancel here. Even has my logo. It tells the, you know, how much they paid. I have a little note down here about returns. Really simple. So now that calculated my profit. It'll do the $10 minus the what is it? 82, and it'll put my profit in the system. Now that's my net profits, just minus cost of goods. It doesn't subtract eBay fees and that kind of thing. But the best part is I can then print it out. I have my net profits without my cost of goods, and then all I have to do is calculate my shipping costs, my eBay fees, and I have my finalized profits for the month. Now when I do this for FBA, it's a little bit different. What I'll do is type in FBA here, Amazon FBA shipment. Okay, now I've sent quite a few here, and a lot of these were tests, but what I would do is I would scan in the same shirt, and it comes up as 282. But instead of putting a cost here, I would put 0, 0. Now when I add this sale in, it's going to give me a negative 282 on my balance. And a lot of people are probably wondering why I would do that. And here's why. When I send shipments in, I subtract all of the costs out of my inventory and the items, and it comes out as a net loss. That's fine. Because then at the end of the month, I print up my FBA statement, and I count all of my income from FBA as a net profit. So it balances out, and it doesn't count that inventory as sitting in my facility, so I know exactly what is in here. And if I want to see how much money worth of merchandise is still at FBA, then I can go through and calculate it. So it's really that simple. I mean, I love this point of sale system. It saved me so much time, and it's so simplified now for me to do the FBA shipment, because then I would just hit add payment, hit complete, and it always prints out an invoice no matter what. But now that's subtracted out of my profits, and that's what's going to FBA. And then when it comes back, the actual income, I add it as just pure profit. That way I get an accurate number. Alright, more importantly here, I want to show you guys how I add items when they come in at my other computer. I'm sitting at my desk computer, but at my other computer, as soon as items come in, I hit this screen. I hit new item, and if it's an eBay lot, I would put eBay. I would type in the item number, and close it with the parentheses, and then I usually put eBay a lot, I think. Item number, close it with the parentheses, eBay a lot. Then I would put its actual cost, so let's say 282 again as an example, and then I would put its selling price to match the cost. And this just allows me to do a quick glance at before I put in the finalized price to see a quick profit. And then you would put in the quantity and just hit submit. It's really like, it's that simple. And I do that for every item that enters. And then for that specific item, if I organize it here by newest, I can hit this. I could hit barcode labels, and this allows me to print them out with my Zebra printer. It's just like, it's that quick, that simple. That's why I love this program. Alright, now once you get to Amazon.com, I'm going to show you, after I get it at my point of sale or whatever, if it's going to fulfillment by Amazon, then I come right here and I get it all added into my shipment. Now there's a lot of ways to do this. I'm going to show you a couple of the simplest ways. The first way, you don't even have to sign into the seller portion. I got a new item for the sake of simplicity. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cup, and all I do is scan the barcode on it, right? So it's scanned, it shows up right away. I click it. Down here on the right, as long as you are ungated in that section, it will say sell on Amazon. I then put in the condition, brand new and unused. Okay. Quantity 1. Price. Now look at this price. That's almost $17 not for FBA. I'm going to go $15.95 as FBA, right? From there, hit continue. Now this page comes up if you were in the FBA portion. this page will come up right here. It's the most important page. This will save you a ton of time. Now just for your very first product, you want to create a new shipping plan. Now I have one. So I'm going to hit add to existing, click it, and oh, it's been going for quite a while now. And due to me being sick, it's been over a month it's been sitting there almost. It'll be added to the shipment plan, and you can add quantities in and adjust them. But here's the important part. Don't keep doing that. That's going to slow you down tremendously. What you want to do is after your first item, then add them all to your inventory, and then what you do is you come up here and you hit add products. And then all you have to do is scan it if you have a scanner, or type in the keywords. Oh, it says not found because I already pulled it. Once you pull an item, I think it's out of that section. Let me see if this one works. No, I don't have it added in. But basically, once an item is pulled from your inventory onto the list, it removes it from searchability, just so you don't double list. But basically, you can pull all your items instantly and keep adding them, and then your shipment will be done here. Instead of individually adding them each time, having to go through the loading screen and picking the shipment over and over. So you just pick the shipment, add products, do them all at once, edit all their quantities. Super straightforward and simple, and you're good to go. Another cool thing about this page to know, if you edit numbers and just leave the page, it does save. It's auto saved. So there's no save button. You don't have to hit anything. It auto adjusts as you go on. Alright, I want to show you one other great tip that will save you a ton of time once you get going. If you are not adding mostly merchant fulfilled products and mostly FBA, when you scroll down to the bottom here, there's a way to set it up that it's automatically on FBA over merchant fulfilled. And so down here you can pick a ship method. If you pick I want to ship the item myself, that is merchant fulfilled. If you pick I want Amazon to ship it for me, that is FBA. Now if you come here and you switch your settings, mine are already switched to FBA. But say you're on fulfilled and you're doing mostly merchant fulfilled, you can hit remember this setting, and then at the bottom it'll always have merchant fulfilled checked first. Then if you already have merchant fulfilled checked and you want to do FBA, you can click FBA and it'll have the same box. That way you don't have to keep checking and switching back and forth. This will save you a lot of time if you're trying to list one over the other, or if you do them in bunches. So if you do mostly FBA, switch it to FBA, then switch it back once you go to your merchant fulfilled. It's just a quick tip that'll help save you some time. Alright everyone, I hope that helped you understand my process a little more and let you know what was going through my brain. My whole actual office is set up to be kind of like a conveyor belt. You just go from one table to the next, and all the steps are involved in getting the item finished and on the shelves, or finished and packaged. So the whole idea is to be efficient always. No matter what you do, you want to have an efficient setup. So for your FBA setup, it can be simple, but make sure it's efficient and the steps make sense. That's always what matters. Remove any links from the process that don't need to be there. If there's something there for no apparent reason, then it shouldn't be in the process. Now hopefully the computer end was a little more informative. You understand some of the tips I was trying to explain and getting the whole shipment started. Now when I do actually package items, I'm going to go over the shipment process a little more, and a little more about organizing the shipment. But to do that, I need to get all of my merchandise entered into the computer, which I will cover some of with video, but I mean it's going to take hours upon hours, so I'm going to do a lot of it off of video as well. Tomorrow is going to be one of the most important videos you can watch. I'm going to break down all of the guidelines that FBA has that you must follow to sell on FBA. Now there are pages upon pages of guidelines. They're hard to understand. I'm going to pull out all of the important bits that you need to know, and I'm going to go over each and every one with you. After that, I'm then going to go over the supplies I use to ship and the shipping techniques I use to save money. Also, Amazon's shipping rates are absolutely phenomenal. I've shipped over 20 pounds of stuff for $5. I mean, they really have great prices. So we're going to go over that tomorrow. I really hope you join me. I hope you're enjoying the series and I'm helping. If you have any questions whatsoever, leave them down in the comments. I will get to them. I'll see you guys soon. Please subscribe if you haven't.